Listen, I'm not breaking ground when I say this ought to go with this. But if you think it's enough to just open things up, get the key in the door, put some pretzels on the bar, and you'll be taking advantage of the opportunity that the Super Bowl's going to be presenting to you, you're sabotaging your revenues for the day. I'm going to share with you how to make the biggest sporting event of the year a cash cow for you. I'll show you why this is such a fantastic opportunity, how to minimize the effort, and how to maximize your success, and how with just one little tweak, you can repeat this event over and over and over again all year long. I love events. Maybe it's because I've generated tens of millions of dollars for my clients and myself using events. And given the conditions we have today, craft breweries need to lean into events to create new customers and increase revenue. Let's dive in. You know the Super Bowl is a big deal, but you might not have a sense of exactly how massive it is. From a TV standpoint, the top 10 shows in the US each year are usually 8 out of 10 of them are tied to some NFL game. And year in, year out, the number one most watched event on television is our Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl expands our boundaries. It's popular and growing in places like England and Germany. It's popular even in Asian countries. It's popular in Australia. Kind of the whole world watches our game. And to be that big, it crosses all the demographic boundaries and constraints, as well as the geographic constraints we were just talking about. And the halftime show, it's almost as big. People view the Super Bowl Sunday as almost a national holiday. It's like the 4th of July or Memorial Day. So let's talk about how you win with a Super Bowl party. And you do that by having a Super Bowl pool. Now, I'm not talking about getting your flippers and your goggles out. A Super Bowl pool is an opportunity. It's often done in a wagering standpoint. It can be wagering or not. And what it is it gives people a chance to win, to participate. And everything is based on the score of the game. Now, let's talk about how you set it up, and I'll get into the nuances. I think you'll understand everything. You don't need a lot to have a Super Bowl pool. You want to have a large white poster board. You want to have a black Sharpie, a ruler, longer the better. You need 10 playing cards. I'll explain how you use them. But you want to have an ace, a 2 through 10. And you can start putting all this together middle of January. You can even do it a little earlier. The most popular time for people getting involved in a pool is that time frame from after the various conference championship games. And those games decide who gets into the Super Bowl. And then the actual game itself. And there's 2 weeks time in that window. You structure your pool by creating 100 evenly sized boxes in 10 rows of 10. Now, you're also going to want to surround those 100 boxes with 10 more boxes above on top and 10 more going down on the left. You'll assign a side, a conference side to each of those. One side will be the AFC, the other side will be the NFC. At this point, you've got that put together. Now it's time people can either buy or pick their box to get involved. And one person picks each box. At that point, you'll put their name in the boxes. Your pool is full when you have all 100 boxes sold or taken. Now, here's the thing. You could have, if you got a ton of people that want to get involved, you could have a second one. You could have a third one. I mean, the numbers go on forever. So I don't know how big or small your brewpub is. I'm not sure how aggressive you're going to be marketing this, but you can scale it to whatever it is that you want to be. If you're asking people to buy in, you could have high ticket one and then medium ticket and or low ticket ones. You've got tons of flexibility. So what I'm talking about now is going to fit into your business, regardless of how big or small your business is. Once a Super Bowl pool is full, then at that point, the cards come into play. Because what you're going to do is take those 10 cards that you have, ace 2 through 10, and what you're going to do is shuffle them and randomly select each card, and you'll maybe start at the upper left-hand corner. You'll pull a card, let's say you pull a 3. So that top left box is a 3. Remember, all the inside 100 are taken by people. These are the boxes across the top and boxes down the side. So you pull a 3, that would go in this box here. Then for the box next to it, you pull out, it's an 8. That becomes the 8. Then let's say you pull the ace. An ace would be a 1. Then the next card you pull is a 10. That's your 0. And you'll have numbers 0 through 9 in some random order going across the top. And you'll do the same thing going down the sides, one side. So now you've got all 10 boxes. Somebody has taken, they're all full. And you've got your numbers on the side. You've got the AFC and the NFC. The way these numbers and boxes work, really very simple. If your head's spinning, I've got a video that breaks down more of this for you. I'll put it down there in the description for the video. It's really very simple. People randomly pick boxes in the 100, and then at some point when they're all full, you'll randomly pick those numbers on the side. Then the day of the game, winners are selected based on the score of the game. Typically what you'll have is the grand prize is the final score. The second place prize would be the halftime score. And then you'll also have scores at the end of the first quarter and the third quarter. And those are usually your third place spots. Now you can also expand out things on reverses and things like that. You got any questions, ask me down in the comments. I talk more about that in the video as well. But it's all based on the score. So let's say at halftime, the score is 17-14. You only take the last number in each team's score. So that'd be 7 and 4. And it's got to align with if the NFC team has 7, AFC has 4, that's the box that would win. 7 and 4 based on that. And remember I was mentioning, I would definitely have merch prizes for anybody who's got the right score, but opposite. Meaning they've got the NFC, AFC. If those switched, they'd be winners. That's an easy way to make it more fun and get more folks involved in winning. You promote this concept of a pool on your social media. You hang the pool up in a prominent spot in your brew pub. Once people see it, many folks will know exactly what it is. They're probably in multiple pools each and every Super Bowl Sunday. You can market it through your social media. You can explain it and get your employees involved. So when they're talking with your customer base, hey, you ever like getting involved in Super Bowl pools? Would you love to get involved in ours? You'll be surprised how many folks actually will jump at that opportunity. That's how popular these things are. And that's why I'm saying a lot of times you might find yourself doing more than one pool. I'm sure you can see how, particularly for football fans, but pretty much anybody who's excited about the Super Bowl, this becomes a really fun thing to be involved. They've kind of got equity in the game. But the benefits are much greater than that. Certainly, you'll have a bigger and more exciting event than someone who's just happened to be open that day. It's an opportunity for you to build a customer list. And you know how important I think a customer list, if you've ever seen one of my videos. A customer list allows you to get folks into your business when they normally wouldn't. It's also a way to build your loyalty program. Now, if you don't have a loyalty program or you're not sure how to make it work and you've struggled with it, go ahead right now and put loyalty down in the comments. I've got a free PDF to help you put that into play as part of this, and you can do it literally in another 5 or 10 minutes time. Other benefits of this, you'll sell more merch. People love to get involved and have that merch on at your event. You'll also find out that your employees are going to love this because folks are engaged in the game and they'll be sharing with your employees when they're winning. They'll look to commiserate with your employees when the score now is not in their favor. And here's the thing. Folks who get involved in Super Bowl pools, I have found tend to be some of the very best tippers. And I would be willing to guarantee, I'd be really surprised unless you had another super great event, that your employees will come back and tell you that as far as from a tip standpoint, this was the best tipping environment that you've had all year long, maybe ever in your business. I can tell you, if you put this into your business for this Super Bowl, it's going to be a winner. I've never seen these things not win. Now, here's the thing. You've got a winning idea, but you don't want to wait around until next February to make it happen. So here's how you can replicate this. It may not always be as big, but you can implement this a few more times each year. Other sports. This can be done, let's say, for things like World Series or the NBA Finals. You could do those. You just got to be prepared because there can be up to 7 games. So it needs to be tweaked along those. A cool way to do that would be to have the same setup box and number-wise for each game. But it's not just team sports. This can be tied to golf or tennis with the Masters or the U.S. Open. You'd go for the top 20 players. And if somebody didn't win, you'd roll it over to the next one. So maybe if you got a bunch of golfers who tend to come in, you're near a big golf course, they will dive headfirst into this. Then you might have to change the overall boxes and things like this, but you want to appeal to non-sports fans? This could be done for the Oscars or the Grammys. Things like maybe best movie crossed by a certain other elements. You might have 3 or 4 mini boxes. Again, you got to be a little bit of creative and then just go ahead and have fun with this. But almost anything that folks are going to gather and watch on television, I mean, the Oscars are usually, I was talking about those top 10 television shows, Oscars usually breaks that top 10 amongst all those other football games. But just don't stop at the national, international level. You can boil this down and make it hyper local. Maybe you're in a community with a bunch of different softball leagues. You know what? That you could have for the men's and then a separate pool for the women's championship softball games, whether they're playing the same day or not. Ideally, maybe not on the same day. So each championship game gets its own day. You invite both the teams. You do something special for anybody coming in the jerseys, and you have this pool. Folks will absolutely love that. And again, nobody in the community is probably doing anything like that. And those folks who come in for that, guess what? Not only are they part of your loyalty program, not only do you have them on your customer list, but they're going to be coming back more often to you than they did in the past if they did ever come to you. And if they haven't been in your business, they'll come for this and they'll become regulars. You see what we're doing here, folks? We're giving people reasons to become regulars at our business. And by doing that, that's how businesses are going to thrive in 2025 and going forward. Now, you're always going to want to mold these events around your brand. And this Super Bowl, like I said, I think it works for everybody just because it's so massive. But some of the other little events I talked about, maybe they don't kind of tick the boxes you need them to tick. No problem. I've got a video and I want you to watch it right now where I've created or found, I pretty much found almost all of them, quirky little events for every single day of the year. Many days have multiple options for you to pick. Everything from Dungeons and Dragons Day to Crazy Sock Day. It's beyond anything you could brainstorm on your own. Go ahead, watch that video right now, because the key thing, and I think you can see from what I've talked about, having these mini events are going to create opportunities where people are going to be, gosh, I got to go to that event. The more times people are saying that, the more people you're going to have in your facility. This is just smart business. This is what we need to do in 2025 to thrive. I'll see you over there in that video.